Hello and welcome to Steins Gate Zero. If you're new here and want to start from the beginning, the playlist is up in the corner there. If you're a returning viewer, please like and subscribe. It really does help out. Today's episode will follow one of Mayuri's friends, as we see how Mayuri is handling things after the events of the first game. We heard about these characters, but never actually saw them. And also, we're gonna meet Daru's wife-to-be.
What? My head snapped up in surprise at Maho's bizarre statement. Me? Maho's assistant?
Oh, how the turntables.
What, does he have to... Is his job to pick her up and put her on his shoulder so she can see eye to eye with Liskinen? Then I'd go to Victor Condria University?
Oh, you don't like the idea?
It's not whether I like it or not.
Well, it was a joke anyway.
A joke?
Did you take it seriously?
I did not. I wasn't going to tell her that I almost did.
I see. But if you study really, really hard, it might not be a joke after all.
Even if it wasn't, I'd rather be Dr. Liskinen's assistant.
Are you sure about that?
This was my way of getting back at her.
It's harder to be his assistant than you might think. He's really a big kid.
As she spoke, she quietly came over next to me and tapped me on the arm a few times. I see. So that was it. She was making a joke to try and calm me down. Sorry. Thanks.
What are you talking about?
I didn't think subtlety was her thing. Maybe I was wrong?
Senpai? Excuse me.
If you two would stop flirting? No, Kurisu beckoned to Maho from within the screen in a very human manner.
What is it? Come a little closer. Toward the speaker. Huh?
Maho moved her ear close to the speaker. I was just thinking about how weird it was when...
Uh-huh?
Maho suddenly turned bright red and shouted at the screen. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Of course not. What are you talking about? You don't need to be so embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. Stop being weird. You're sure? I'm sure.
What are you talking about? It was obvious that Kurisu had whispered something to Maho. What did she say? If you can't figure it out, Okabe, you don't deserve to know. Maho glanced at me. And for some reason, she blushed and turned away. Oh, I see. From the way Maho was acting, and what I knew about Kurisu, there was only one possibility. Goddamn mainstream woman. I whispered a name I'd often teased Kurisu with, and suddenly felt a lot better. She must have said something stupid like, "You two make a good couple," or "You finally found a man, huh?" The way she looked at a boy and girl holding a friendly conversation and immediately assumed they were dating was just like the Kurisu I knew. Well, you see, you're in media. In media, if a boy and a girl had a friendly conversation, they're dating.
No, you're right.
Sheesh, what a system. It didn't need to be that true to their personalities, did it? I chuckled. I wonder if this Kurisu also browses at channel when Maho and the professor aren't looking. Knowing her, definitely. She's probably commenting on threads too. She might be doing it right now. I remember Kurisu once browsed at channel on the Future Gadget Laboratory's computer when she knew nobody else was around.
Hey, knock before you come in.
So, Christina, what were you looking at just now? Could be worse. She could, at least more embarrassing for her, she could have been looking at porn.
Wait, stay back! Hey, what's with that yeah, sure, buddy? Laughter.
Fear not, Christina. Or should I call you at Channeler Chris?
Please don't call me that.
I already knew. That's right. I realized long ago that you were an at-channeler. You reek of at-channel corruption.
How rude! I make sure to apply light perfume every day.
Fool. That's not what I meant. I'm talking about your soul's power level. But it's cute how you try to hide it at Channeler Chris.
Don't call me that.
Your soul's power level, huh? My silly remark seemed to have a much deeper meaning now. Was the girl in front of me one day going to, as Dr. Liskinen had said, become a real artificial soul? That seems like a oxymoron, part. Yeah. When that happens, what are we supposed to call a soul that still exists in the world after the body was gone? Not dead or alive, but something in between. This wasn't science anymore. It was philosophy, or maybe even religion. Yes, definitely philosophical.
Enough messing around.
Okabe-san didn't come here to waste his time with this stuff. The way you're trying to
Change the subject.
makes me even more suspicious. I'm going to infect you with a virus.
I'm just kidding. I won't
bring it up again.
Kurisu quickly bowed her head. I bet back when Kurisu was still alive, she had conversations like this with Maho every day. I'm sure Dr. Liskinen had a lot of fun watching them. It was actually kind of cute.
Sorry about that, Okabe-san. Want to try talking to her?
Maho offered me the seat in front of the PC. Kurisu's face was on the monitor right in front of me. When our eyes met, she smiled a little. I didn't know this was how she treated people when she first met them. Well, this is how she treats people when she first meets them and they haven't tried to grope her or take off her shirt. But then I remembered that my first meeting with Kurisu in the Alpha World line went about as badly as it possibly could have. I realized that her prickly attitude toward me could have been unusual for her.
Ask me whatever you want.
I'll answer anything I can.
All right. This wasn't good. I was remembering every moment I'd ever spent with Kurisu. I couldn't think of what to say. And then the next words that came out of my mouth were, "Is it possible to create a time machine?" That was what I'd once argued about with Kurisu on another world line. In the end, I'd lost the argument completely.
What?
Eh,
Time machine.
you said.
Where did this come from?
It's just a test. I wanted to see if she was capable of a thought experiment.
Well, Kurisu?
Let me see. My conclusion is that it's not possible.
But
I suppose we don't know for sure that it's impossible.
What? That wasn't what she originally said.
let me start by saying that the very idea of a time machine is just absurd.
That's what Kurisu had said in the Alpha World line. I remember that well. I think the very idea of a time machine is just absurd. I remember our old debate and decided to repeat what Kurisu had said then.
It's too early to assume that. I mean, Amadeus was also impossible 10 years ago, so...
You think so? It's true that scientists all around the world have proposed time travel theories. There are 11 major ones and countless minor ones, but none of them are anything more than hypotheses, and some of them directly contradict one another.
Correct.
For example, there's a cosmic string theory and a wormhole theory, where time travel is possible as thought experiments, but no one has a clue where you would go to get cosmic strings or exotic matter. In other words, it's not realistic. This was also something that Kurisu had told me in the Alpha World line. And Kurisu, having come up with all these arguments in the previous world line, will also probably be able to argue them all, because that's part of prepping for an argument, is figuring out where contradict or argue against you.
Yeah.
But the Kurisu on the screen was unmoved.
That's probably because scientists haven't discovered something important yet.
Then you think it's possible to create a time machine.
Don't you remember what I said?
We don't know for sure that it's impossible.
Yeah. Her opinion was slightly different. Is this because I was here in the Beta World line? Or perhaps... Also, she probably hasn't done the research for the talk she was going to give at the Japanese conference yet when this memory was taken.
That's also true. Although that's used.
Hyojo-san, she knows she's made from a copy of the original's memories, right?
Of course.
Then, I can't think of a good example, but is it like identical twins? You can't tell them apart at birth, but as they grow, differences start to form? Or something like that?
We're still investigating that, but that's what I was talking about before. Memories are incredibly impactful to personhood. If the memories they build up are different, I think that of course they'd become something different from the original human. The professor agrees with me.
I see. It was then that I heard a door on the other side of the partition slam shut.
Is that the professor? From the loud sound of the footsteps, I'd assume so.
I could definitely hear somebody stomping around outside. And then, after a heavy knock, the door to the booth flung open. Lintolo! Lintolo? The professor opened his arms wide. I hadn't realized he was this friendly.
You didn't realize from the first time?
He seemed to think he was giving me a handshake, but it felt like it was being worked over by a pro wrestler.
Hey boy, what's up?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Okabe-san, your English is terrible.
Probably about as good as my Japanese. Shut up, Christina.
Oh! Christina!
Oh no, I was so focused on the professor that I used my old nickname for her. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, please.
I am worried about it.
Why did you call me Christina?
I told you, it's nothing.
He's starting to sound like Joey and Kilmer over here.
You're freaking out a lot over
Nothing.
I told you to shut up, Christine, or Kurisu. Kurisu and Maho both seemed lost in thought.
You called her Christina, huh?
You two, just drop it. I didn't want any more questions about this. Since the professor was here, I decided to ask more about how Amadeus's memories worked. Professor, is it possible for Amadeus's memories to be externally modified? But the professor wasn't listening to my question. He was wondering about the Christina thing too. He seemed to be frantically searching his pockets for something. Come to think of it, I didn't see that translator device on his ear. Oh, so he has no idea what's going on right now.
No.
He must have been looking for it, which meant odds are good he didn't even understand my question.
Modifying my memories?
It's theoretically possible.
Kurisu herself answered in the professor's place.
For example,
It would be possible to make me think that my name was Christina. But memory data isn't like normal data.
it's much more complex. I'm aware of no successful attempts
To modify it.
Yeah, but if the attempts were successful, you wouldn't be aware of it.
Exactly. And even if the attempt
Succeeded.
I would notice it and repair myself.
I keep logs in the area that only I can access. In other words, a secret diary.
If there was a discrepancy between my
Current memories in my diary.
There's a very high probability I'd
become suspicious.
then I would target the diary. What's more, my memories are backed up at regular intervals. Even if they were altered
Beyond the point where I could
Self-repair, I would
still be able to restore them. I would lose any memories that had
form between then and the last
backup, though.
I see. And this doesn't seem like this will be related to a plot point later on or anything.
No, of course not.
Regardless of the topic of discussion, it felt strange. What Maho had said before she loaded Kurisu was true. I was starting to feel like I was chatting with the real Kurisu. The way she wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise when she started talking about science was exactly like the real Kurisu. It's interesting though. I turned towards Kurisu and spoke. You're able to consider yourself objectively as a machine. From what I see in books and comics, I'd expect you to say, I'm not a machine, I'm human.
That's pure nonsense. Even humans speak of themselves as a combination of
Hardware and software, right? They just call it
biology and psychology. What's the difference?
Basically, one runs on meat, one runs on metal.
Yeah.
I see.
She's better with comebacks than anyone I know, isn't she?
When she heard this, Kurisu turned towards Maho, her CG eyes big and round, though it was really just the camera sensor moving.
You know, Senpai, this may not be any of my business, but
You should watch what you say.
you finally got your chance. What if he stops?
Playing you.
What? Come on, don't bring that up again. But it's what I find most
Interesting right now.
It's what I find most meaningless right now.
What?
This is the last chance you'll
Forget.
Oh, that's cold. What the fuck? You're the one who needs to learn what to watch what you say.
Dr. Liskinen was clapping his hands together and laughing. I had to chuckle a little too. Afterward, the three of us, including the professor, talked to Kurisu, discussing technical subjects and making small talk. Next thing I knew, it had been almost an hour. I actually felt a little sad when Maho told me that it was time to stop. In just a single hour, the strangeness I'd felt about Amadeus had disappeared, and I felt like I was really talking to Kurisu. Dr. Liskinen stopped me before I left. So, interested in being a tester? I tilted my head when I heard the professor speak through the translator. Amadeus doesn't have a lot of conversation samples. I got all the kids in my lab helping as much as they can, but it's not enough.
Amadeus is still in the research stage, and we can't just let anyone talk to it.
So, I want you, Lintolo, to help us, since you were her friend. I remember they'd mentioned something about being a tester at the party, so this is what they were talking about.
The professor and I will be staying in Japan for a while. We'd like you to be a tester while we're here. Your job will just be talking to Kurisu. There's no real quota, just talk to her when you feel like it. But twice a month, I want you to report on your testing to me and the professor.
Oh, and I'm sorry, but we can't pay you. I want you to keep that in mind when you decide. Well, at least he's putting that up front.
Yeah.
I'm aware that it's cruel to ask you to talk to an AI that's perfectly identical to your dead friend. If you're not interested, feel free to turn us down. I remember what it had felt like to talk to Kurisu. When the monitor was just about to turn off, this is what Kurisu had said. Let's talk again sometime, Okabe Rintaro-san. That's what I'd hoped for when I came here, wasn't it? I'll do it. Please, let me do it. I thought I was ready when I accepted the job, but I had never expected this. There was an incoming call on my smartphone. I trembled. There had been quite a few today, and I kept ignoring them all. Hello?
It's Makise.
Kurisu was displayed on the screen. Yes, it was Amadeus. The app the professor had given me allowed me to access the servers at Victor Condria University from anywhere, 24 hours a day.
Of course, you'll be able to contact Kurisu. But Kurisu will also sometimes contact you. When that happens, talk to her.
This I hadn't predicted. I never thought she would call me. Yeah, I guess he doesn't usually get many calls from girls except Mayuri.
And Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris too. True.
But he doesn't really view them as girls. They're something else.
Yeah. Or that her face would be displayed on screen.
Or should I
Have introduced myself.
with, it's Christina.
She looked really mad.
Girls don't like it when you put them on red.
Yeah. I could guess why. I had gotten 8 calls from Kurisu and had ignored them all.
Senpai and Dr. Liskinen explained things, so I thought I'd call once myself to make a
Proper introduction.
but I didn't expect you to refuse to pick up 8 times.
Why aren't you saying anything?
Talking to a realistic girl on my smartphone with so many people around was pretty embarrassing.
Well, if you don't want to talk,
That's fine.
but what's with you?
I'm sure this is my chance to talk.
More unusual. I feel like an idiot. Just know that during the test period, I'm always
Connected with you.
They're always together.
contact me whenever you
Feel like it.
I'm busy, so I don't know if I'll always
Be able to answer your calls.
Man, what is this? More than that strangely polite, friendly Kurisu from yesterday. Angry, stubborn, more curious than anyone. The way she seemed to be constantly challenging you. Well, no, he's left her on, he ignored her call 8 times, so he's given the bad impression he's needed to get Kurisu to act like he is used to.
Anyway, goodbye.
And he's done the first step to get this Kurisu to fall in love with him, just like the real Kurisu.
Piss her off.
I realized that this really was Makise Kurisu. That was the girl I'd spent those 3 weeks with. Lab Mem 004. My assistant, Christina, aka Makise Kurisu. And I just realized her Lab Mem number is 4.
Or is that yeah, okay.
Her movements were a little more jerky than I'd seen on the computer in Dr. Liskinen's office, but evidently that was because of the smartphone, and probably mobile data instead of landline.
He still uses the word. The Hyoyin Kyoma is still there inside of you, son.
This alone was enough to make me feel like my heart was being squeezed dry. I stood still, holding the smartphone tight.
Okari, what's wrong, yeah?
Oh, I'm coming. Oh my. I thought to myself as I ran to catch up with the others. Maybe Dr. Liskinen was right, and this test would be a very cruel thing for me. Yeah, also if any of the, actually no, none of the lab members would know who Kurisu was now, because they haven't spent the 3 weeks with her.
Oh no, yeah, the others, they don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because it's a different world line, yeah.
Yeah, the others. Yeah.
So shit, he can't even talk to them about it. Because they don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Though they might be interested in the fact that...
Absolutely.
Yeah. But they might be interested in Okabe getting a phone call from a cute girl, but even so, in my mind, I was already starting to think about what I would talk about with Kurisu.
Hiaja Maho was remembering. She was remembering the last night she'd spoken to Marquise Kurisu in person.
The whole Amadeus thing must be rough on Maho, too.
Everyone who knew her as a real person.
Yeah, but they were colleagues and best friends, more or less, for much longer than Okabe knew her.
Yeah, granted, she didn't stab her, but yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, why do I have to do this now of all times? That night, Kurisu was whispering to herself a lot. Mitochondria University's Brain Science Institute. Maho and Kurisu worked in the same room at the lab. Thus, Maho was forced to hear Kurisu's angry mumblings whether she wanted to or not. A little was fine, but she'd been acting like this all day, and it was keeping Maho from concentrating. She finally snapped and turned away from the paper she was writing. Hey, Kurisu. English was the language most commonly used at Mitochondria University. When the other staff and professors were around, she'd always use English, but when it was just her and Kurisu, Maho would often speak in Japanese.
And not for the convenience of the Japanese audience.
Absolutely not. Would you stop it? What? Stop what? Kurisu stopped messing with her luggage and turned around. You're so loud that I can't concentrate. I need to turn this paper in by tomorrow. Was I talking to myself? Want me to sue you for violating the local noise ordinance? Sorry. Kurisu apologized and started to scratch the back of her head. Maho decided to calm down by standing up and going to the shelf where the research notes were kept. There were several books she needed for her paper, but they were all up on the top shelf. Oh.
Need a boost?
You need Grahatia's levitation spell, girl.
Or a box.
Or a box. This must be someone's idea of a prank, she said as she stared up at the heavy book. She decided to try and reach for it, but no matter how she stood on her toes, she came nowhere close.
It's actually Liskinen pranking her.
It absolutely could be. Her tiny little arms seemed to her like dead branches waving in the wind. After she'd skipped grades to go to college, and then come to work at this lab, she had more chances than ever before to hate her small stature.
Yeah, I also remember in the first scene with her how she's like, oh, you must have thought, you must have skipped so many years to be a lecturer at your age, but she's actually 25. Meanwhile, she has actually skipped a whole bunch of school grades. It's just, that was a while ago, and she is actually 25.
Whenever she walked outside after dark, the cops would stop her. Even with her ID, she couldn't get into bars, and buying medicine and alcohol at drugstores was a pain.
Fair.
The most humiliating part was that no matter where she went, everyone thought she was in middle school. Nobody believed her when she said she was 20. Everything in America was just too big.
Yeah, if she's, she's what, 4 foot nothing?
Shall I get that for you? Kurisu noticed the trouble Maho was having and came over. But Maho was stubborn, and decided to pretend nothing was wrong. Oh god, there's 2 of them. Fine, I'm not having any problems. Sure you are. I'm not. You're sure? I'm sure. But there's a book on the shelf I want too, so...
Yeah, it's actually the same book, so she just takes and walks off with it.
Kurisu easily reached up to the highest shelf and grabbed the book Maho wanted. Kurisu is also very small, so I have trouble believing that she reached the highest shelf with no trouble.
Well, what's the average Japanese height is 5'4", I think? Or average Japanese woman height is 5'4", I think?
I think 5'4" is American.
Yeah, I might be thinking average woman height in general.
5'2".
5'2"? Okay. Which is still a good foot over what Maho is.
She is not 4'2". She's not 4'2".
I don't know. Probably the stats are somewhere. No, she's 4'7".
Oh god.
I'll check. Kurisu's 5'3", so half a foot. And Liskinen's probably like 6'1" and just towers over all of them.
It must be nice to be tall. No, I'm not really that... Oh. Kurisu covered her mouth when she realized she'd said something she shouldn't have. Thanks. That was a big help. If you need something in Japan, tell me. I'll send it. I will. Thank you. Kurisu handed over the book as she spoke. And then suddenly, her eyes went wide and began to sparkle. I feel bad because I am a foot taller than Maho.
I'm like a foot taller than some of my friends, and
A foot and some change, actually.
I try not to torment them about it.
I know I would torment her. Hey, Senpai, about what we were just talking about. What were we just talking about? Talking to yourself.
Oh, not about the height thing. Okay.
Not about the height thing. Huh? Oh. It looked like Kurisu had come up with a new idea. This was a regular occurrence for Kurisu, and Maho was used to it. Wouldn't that be proof of a self?
Well, yeah, you can't talk to yourself if you don't have a self.
For Amadeus? Yeah. Yeah, if she started talking to herself, I'd be pretty surprised. No matter how advanced an AI was, it wouldn't talk to itself unless you programmed it to do that. And there was no need, or even a point, to a feature like that. Yeah, if you did that and then, you were trying to talk to it, it'd be very annoying. If an AI started talking to itself, that might be a good indication that there was a self to talk to. But Maho hesitated to agree with her. You should watch what you say here. Don't forget that there are many people who believe that the soul is God's gift to mankind. And it's surprisingly common in the scientific community. There's a lot of people who find God in just how the universe works, which is really beautiful to me, I think.
Yeah, but also in the Chaos Head and Chaos Child series, like the two VNs, there's also an antagonistic force called the Church of the Divine Light.
That might be a reference, yeah. But just in real life.
Yes. Might not be too.
I suppose you're right. Kurisu's expression dimmed. I wouldn't want AI to have a sense of self anyway. I don't want AI, actually. Let's just put it like that. Kurisu and Mahu were both treated as heretics in the lab. Especially since they were both Japanese and women.
That might just be an American thing, but it could also be the Church of Divine Light influence.
And Kurisu was simply too talented. Nobody ever actually did anything, but a lot of the older scientists were definitely avoiding her. Dr. Liskinen was the chief scientist, and the fact that he liked the two of them was all that let them do their research in peace. If the other scientists heard what Kurisu had just said, who knows what they'd do. Mahu patted Kurisu on the shoulder. Well, go have a good time in Japan and refresh yourself. Still not happy about that. Why? I think you'll have fun. If I'm doing exchange, you should be to a graduate school. Why high school?
Because you're 18.
It has to be high school, right? By Japanese standards, you should still be in high school.
Maybe you'll get a boyfriend or something. And it won't be creepy if it's the same age.
Just accept that the professor is doing something nice for you. Maho remembered what Dr. Liskinen had said. Kurisu has a fragile personality. All the bickering in the lab is putting her under a lot of stress, and she's at her limit. It might ruin her as a researcher. That's what the professor had said. He was really worried about her. And you have to go to Japan in July anyway, right? It was perfect timing. Yeah, I'm actually kind of down about that, too. The Akihabara Techno Forum. Was that it? I'm still not used to giving lectures. I don't know what to do. Now that you're published in science, expect a lot more of this. You need to practice. Oh, I'd rather not. Kurisu whispered to herself. Maho didn't like being around lots of other people either, so she knew how Kurisu felt.
Introverts ahoy!
But there were a lot of scientists who wanted to be published in a major journal, then go on to give public lectures. And she'd beaten out many of them to win that honor. People were jealous. She needed to fulfill her responsibilities, even if just to shut them up. Maybe I'm not that much better though. Maho silently laughed a little and hated herself for doing it. Maybe I'm just as jealous as they are. That feeling, which was a little like fear, was something that she'd always felt. The girl in front of her was just that different from Maho. Someone she could never reach, no matter how hard she tried. Someone who'd surpassed everything she'd ever done, almost instantly.
Yeah, but at least you're not trying to murder her, unlike certain other fathers.
Certain other people involved. Senpai? Kurisu was peering into her face, confused. Maho felt flustered. Are you meeting your dad in Japan?
Speaking of other fathers who will murder her,
She heard that Kurisu's parents weren't divorced, but that they were separated. Her mom was still in America, and her dad was in Japan. After Maho said it, she wondered if that was too personal a question.
I wonder if Kurisu's mom is Scottish. I guess the hair is brownish, not full red. But it would explain the temper.
But Kurisu smiled a little. Actually, I got an invitation from him. Oh yeah? He's announcing a new theory this summer. I'm thinking of going to see the announcement. A new theory? Kurisu's smile changed into a small expression of consternation. I haven't heard the details yet. I know it's got something to do with the theory of relativity. Yeah? Maho felt that she was hiding something, but didn't question her anymore. Anyway, take care. I'll be expecting presents. What do you want? Since you're going to Akihabara, why not something rare? You know a lot about Akihabara, right? Huh? Why do you say that?
Her secret 4chan addiction might be exposed. Or 2chan.
You're always reading those sites during breaks. What? Did Amadeus tell you that?
No, she can read Japanese.
Read Japanese?
She shoulder surfs and can see you reading 2chan and...
She wouldn't do that. Sometimes I'm right behind you and you're so busy watching videos that you don't even notice. I can't believe you found out. Damn my carelessness. Kurisu actually seemed upset for once. It's really surprised Maho. Senpai, please don't tell the others.
They wouldn't know what a 2chan is anyways.
No, they wouldn't. I don't think it's really something you need to hide, but... The idea of sharing a secret with Kurisu made Maho happy. Got it. I won't tell anyone.
It'll build trust and it's not really that critical of a secret.
Yeah, you don't have anything terrible. Thanks so much. Kurisu seemed genuinely relieved. Maho continued. Hey, once you get back from Japan, let's find out if Amadeus can talk to herself. Okay. Kurisu had a very happy look on her face. It was the face of a born scientist who loved to explore the unknown more than anything in the world. Her smile was as innocent as that of a child who'd just been given a new toy. It was very beautiful, and it was one of the reasons that Maho liked the younger researcher quite a bit. But the promise the two of them made would never be fulfilled. In fact, they would never even meet again.
Well, at least it was a good note. It's not like Kurisu left in, like they had a fight or something.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
I see you there. I have been too busy trying to guide Okabe that I haven't had time to address your return. I have seen your appearances briefly, Mr. Alpaca-man. 5 times before, by my counting. Curious you choose now to return. Could it be? Are you worried about Okabe as well? Maybe you wish to see the glorious return of Hoyen Kyoma as well? They say allies come from the most unexpected places. Very well, Mr. Alpaca-man. If you wish to help from the other side of that screen there, I welcome your assistance. I know not what you can do from over there, but they do say sometimes being outside of the situation helps seeing the solution, and I cannot think of anyone more outside of the situation than you.